This video describes a free online calculator for working out your exchange commission rate if you trade across more than one market. I'm particularly interested in football. So if you trade across a single market, as you know, your profit and loss of your whole market is combined and you only pay commission on the net profit. If you trade across more than one market, the profit and loss in the two markets is not combined before commission deductions. So if you make a loss in one market, that loss is not taken off any profit that you make in another market, so you pay full commission on the profitable market, and then the loss is still taken off. Therefore, overall you pay a much bigger commission rate. Now if you trade across more than one market and show a loss on your whole trade, you could be paying commission in a profitable market, and even though you've made a loss overall, you still finish up paying commission even though you've had a losing trade. Okay, let's have a look at the calculator. Right, here we are in the calculator. You can see at the top there the web address if you need to find that. Okay, now enter your commission rate at the top there in that orange cell. My rate is 5%, so I put 5 in there. If your rate was 3%, just put a 3 in. I'll just alter that back. Okay, now down here we've got where you can enter up to 6 different markets and your profit and loss in each of those markets and the commission that you paid. So you can get this information either off your Betfair statement, or if you want to plan ahead a strategy that you might be considering, you can put some fictitious profits and commissions in there. Okay, so if we bet and laid in a market and we made a £10 profit, at 5% we expect to pay 5 pence in the pound, which works out at 50 pence. So our net profit is £9.50. Now these markets that you put in here are added together, so you get your profit at your gross profit at the bottom, your commission that you've paid, and the profit that you've made overall, and then the commission rate for those markets combined is worked out in this column here. This dark purple one in that yellow cell, that's your commission rate. So we know we've paid 5% on this one single trade, and over on this far column here combines all those markets that you enter there as if they were all in one market, and shows what would happen if you just paid at your commission rate. So that commission rate you're putting up there in orange is simply copied to there, and your profit and loss here is worked out as if all your trade had been done in a single market. So let's go back to here. We've made a £10 profit and pay 50 pence commission. Now we might have had an insurance bet on that trade, so if we may have lost £2 on our insurance bet, so we wouldn't have paid any commission on that, of course. So our profit has now been reduced down to £8 instead of 10, but we still paid our 50 pence commission, and our profit now, instead of being £9.50, is £7.50. And you can see our commission rate worked out on those two markets combined in this column here is 6.25 now, instead of the 5% that we thought we were paying. Now if those two markets are combined, if you did them both in the same market, all the trade, you pay at 5% your commission rate, and your profit will be £7.60 compared to the £7.50 that you've actually finished up with. So you can see already that it's more advantageous to do all your trade in one market if possible, rather than across more than one market, and things can get a lot worse than that. So we'll have a look at something a bit more drastic now. Okay, let's alter these markets and see what we get. Now I've gone into Betfair here, and I've got a game up for tonight between Huddersfield and Chelsea. So if we look at a nice simple trade of lay the draw and bet 0-0 as a bit of insurance. So if we were to lay the draw at 4.7 and then go into correct score and bet the draw, we'll say we'll bet at 14 just to keep it nice and easy. So that's 4.7 and 14. Put those into a spreadsheet or whatever it is you use for your trading. And I've put a lay of 4.7 in for £20, and that's in the draw. And in correct score, I've entered in this spreadsheet odds of 14 to bet and £5.69 stake. Now up at the top here you can see that that lay there of £20 gives a liability of minus 74, and if we just simply divide 74 by 13 we get a stake of 569, which doesn't cover the whole 74, but it covers most of it. So we'll settle for that. If I set commission to 0, you'll see that it more or less covers £74, 73.97 there if we set commission to 0. So once we put commission in, we lose out a bit. Okay, so that keeps it nice and simple. So we'll see what happens to our commission rate with a trade like that. So that's 4. So if Chelsea score first, we might expect the odds to, if we're lucky, to go out to 10 for the draw, and that gives us a nice juicy profit to work with of £10.60. So if we were to make £10.60 and our bet on 0-0 would then become a loser, we'll put those into the calculator and see what happens to our commission rate. So you can see here that I've entered the 10.60 profit there, and 5% of that is 53 pence for the commission, and then I've entered minus 5.90 for the losing insurance bet on 0-0 and correct score. Now you can see that the commission rate now is 11.28%, which is more than twice my 5% commission rate. Well, if we could do that all in one market, profit would be 4.46, but doing it across the two markets, profit is just over £4 at £4.17. So you can see that the trading across two markets, even for such a simple strategy such as lay the draw and then bet 0-0 as insurance, it really puts the commission rate way up. And I'm sure if Betfair told you that they were going to put your commission rate up to 10%, you'll be going and trading somewhere else. I know that I would. But this is what we get when we trade across two markets within Betfair or BetDAC. And once you start putting more than two markets in, things can get a lot worse than that. So we'll have a look at something a little more drastic now. Here we are back in our Huddersfield-Chelsea game tonight. We'll have a look at some under and over markets. Now the indication in this game are that there may only be 2 goals. So if you look at the under 2.5 goals, that's odds on luck to be under 2.5. And it's also odds on to be over 1.5. So the market indication is that it's going to be just under 3 goals, nearer 3 than 2. So we may decide to lay 4 goals. So to lay 4 goals, we need to bet under 3.5 and also bet over 4.5. So that's over is 7.8 over 4, and under 3 is 137. So put those into a Dutching sheet. 7.8137. There we are, look. There's under 3.5 and over 4.5. So put those into a Dutching sheet. There's our stakes, and we should come out with 709 before commission if we did them all in one market. So if we multiply 36.5 by 0.37, that gives us a profit if it finishes with under 3.5 goals of £13.50 in that market, and then we'll have a losing bet on the other one if it doesn't finish with over 4 of £6.41. So put those in the calculator. That's £13.50. Look, the commission at 5% for that is 0.68, 68 pence, and we've got a losing bet of £6.41. Now that gives us a commission rate of £9.59, which is nearly twice our normal rate. Now let's look at what happens the other way around now, because one of these was quite a strong odds on. So we'll do it the other way around now, as if the game ended with 4 or more goals. Sorry, over 4 goals. So if we multiply 641 by 6.8, that gives us 43.59, near enough, and we would have a losing bet then. If that was a winning bet, that would be a losing bet of 36.50. So put those in the calculator. There's 43.59, and 5% commission on that is £2.18, and there's our minus 36.50. And you can see our commission rate now is almost 31%. Now as a check of that, if we set our commission rate to 0 there, we can see that we finish up with 709 profit there if we did it all in one market, and we can check that against our Dutching sheet. Look there, 709 profit if one of those hit the winner. So we'll just go back to the commission sheet, and you can see the difference in the profit now. We've got 674 if we were able to do that all in one market, and only 491 if we just did it across those 2 markets. So you can see this massive commission rate is making quite a big difference. So if you get into odds on territory, one of your selections or markets is odds on, you start to get these massive commission rates. Okay, thanks for listening, and good luck with your football commission rates.